But we're moving on to speak to the next Salli Deighton from LaundRe. And we're talking about closing the loop with Salli. So I'm getting very confused now. Salli, are you there? I can see you're online. Yes, brilliant. Thank you. Welcome, Salli.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm fine. Welcome to this afternoon. I hope you're well. I'm going to let you introduce yourself and obviously your own presentation, and we're excited to hear from you.
Okay, I will share my screen. Hi, this is Closing My Own Loop. I would like to share with you a bit of a story of what's been going on in my life and how our plans have come about. So before COVID hit, we were starting some plans for LaundRe, a UK nearshoring and reprocessing hub. LaundRe was conceived from all my experiences over the years. I've been around a while. And basically for trying to provide a solution for a lot of the waste I've created as well personally. So I wanted to share you the story of my denim story and how LaundRe came to be. So my life started probably loving jeans about 13 with this amazing little shop. It was called Pants Corner. It was in Horsforth, Leeds, where I grew up. It's the north of England. It was a tiny little shop, but anybody who wanted cool denim went there. This is a lovely shop of me, very fashionable at the time in my easy jeans with a side white piping. I seem to think I was something from the New Romantics. But what was special about this shop was they knew you, they knew the customers, they knew what you'd be looking for. If something wasn't in, they'd ordered it in for you. And, you know, they really cared. And we have so few independents left in the UK now. It was a really, really important store for me growing up personally. I then got my first job in denim about very late 1989, early 1990, so quite a long time ago. And I was employed as an assistant designer for Wrangler. And at the time it was in the UK, and Wrangler had manufacturing in the UK. So in my first month, I was sent up to Falkirk, sunny Scotland, to spend a good week, nearly 2 weeks up in a factory with two other designers that had started at the time. And we met the factory manager, who was very much looking down at us, our naivety. None of us really knew how jeans were produced. And he literally rolled his eyes. He was an amazing man, actually, really, really fantastic guy, and just said, go and learn. So we were, you know, set out to learn the machines, understand how the factory worked. And for me, it was one of the most important lessons I ever learned, because you realize that as a designer, we're drawing bits of lines on a piece of paper that you see at the bottom of the screen. I did everything by hand in those days. There was no computer, but one line in the wrong place or a stitch on the wrong side of the sketch, and you could send the factory into absolute chaos. So it's a really good lesson to learn early on. And also like Wrangler and Lee, they were also producing. Levi had big factories up in Dundee and Lee in Newton Ards. And it was great to have this on our doorstep. It was really easy to get to, and you could see regularly what was happening, what was going through the factory. And so Wrangler was also in a pit village in Nottingham. It was the most uninspiring place probably, but oh my God, the team was amazing. We mixed with everyone. So I knew my way around the warehouse. I knew the merchandising. I knew every bit, and I integrated with all the teams. So, you know, part of my job as an assistant designer was picking up unwashed samples in the warehouse. Running up to Kedgwick was this lovely little laundry that we had up in Wakefield in the north. So I'd shoot at the M1, sit there patiently while they washed our jackets in bleach and pumice. It was very, very basic washing. But again, I learnt my trade on the doorstep. Around early 2000s, most of the suppliers in the UK closed. The laundries closed because of new regulations coming in, and it wasn't appropriate to wash jeans in the UK anymore. So my life became a bag full of samples, a boarding pass and a long haul flight, and things really changed. So you can see these are some of our team. That's the marketing team at Wrangler at the time, the lovely Pit. This is Mark Cuthbert, who is very well known in our industry, a VF guy for many years, and the design team and me with another very dodgy haircut. So so I got packed out. I went freelance actually in 2000. So my life changed quite a lot. I'd worked for Wrangler, I'd also worked for Lee, and I worked for Easy Jeans. So I started freelancing, working with quite a few companies, went back and we worked for VF as well. But I spent a lot of time traveling to India, China initially as well, to many, many diverse places in China, seeing many, many things. and also Bangladesh. From 2006, I traveled a lot to Bangladesh, and it has a real special place in my heart. I work with some incredible hardworking teams. Dhaka's not the easiest place to work in. We'd spend many hours in the car. So to go 20 kilometers could take up to 7 hours. So the teams got to know me very, very well in the car. I really relished that experience. I don't know if they did so much, having a moaning person in the car, but life was different because we were visiting the factories. So we were going for like a day, directing the factories what we wanted to do. I would always ask and get into the laundry, try and find out what they did, the equipment they had, the chemicals they have. But it was a fleeting visit, and much of the development has always been done over email and things like that. So it became a very different experience. I was really lucky to travel a lot, but not a lot of buyers and people had the luck that I had. I also worked with Mothercare for a while, advising and like developing their denim. Again, a really fabulous team. And we worked on a project with Save the Children, which helped fund a maternity hospital in Dhaka. And I remember working with the team in Dhaka, everybody worked so hard on those garments because we wanted to make sure they were really well done, but also we made the best garments to make the best margin and profit so we could put it back in the campaign. And developing garments that have develop something for the greater good was so rewarding. And I don't know, I feel everything should contribute to this too. Yeah, we should be doing a job for good. So you can see on the photos, there's the great guys at Shasha Denim. It's a brilliant mill in Dhaka. They've got some amazing technology, really wonderful, passionate people. My Debenhams team there, when I'm in town, everybody's on the laser machine, everybody's learning. We have Biswaji, who is one of my team again, and the guys in ABBA Vintage, which is one of the big factories out there. The lovely big Tornella machines in natural garments as well, incredible units. And then you'll see the merchandiser who came out to Bangladesh with me on one trip and got more than she bargained for because she did everything in the laundry. Because these guys are booking things, they're arranging things. They need to understand how a laundry operates and all the processes, so they can factor that in as well. I put the buyer through it and the designer. They all still talk to me. So. And then I've seen the really good, the bad and the ugly and downright terrifying things as well. I think I've shared with Transformers before, seeing resin used in a laundry in China. They were spraying the resin, which is technically glue, slapping a hot iron on. And again, it's almost like glue sniffing on a mass scale. It was horrendous to see. And then we'd all, I'm sure in the denim industry, have come across this a lot in China. So a handmade inflatable pneumatic leg, a pair of jeans shoved on and a bucket of PP and a rag. And yeah, no health and safety. And these aren't the worst I've seen. I really have seen some very strange things, including going to something that was barely beyond a chicken shed, and it did have chickens, and somebody had racked up some legs, and it was really truly like, wow, how can this happen? So Kingpins was a real game changer when it came to be, because as a freelancer, it gave me the opportunity to connect with lots of people. So I reached out to all the chemical companies. I got to meet the machine makers. I got to, you know, grovel till I went over and got training. Everybody really helped me learn. Everybody is really supportive in our industry. And I think if you reach out, our industry is changing. What I knew back in 2006 is completely different to what I know now. The industry has evolved, the technologies have evolved, and it's so important we keep up. So a lot of my job is, I'm really fortunate. I've worked with lots of the big retailers. I now still work with those companies, but I train a lot of the teams as well. And it's quite frustrating that I have to do it through videos or PowerPoints, and I can't show them and teach them the smells of the laundry, how it feels and everything to experience this. But 3 light bulb moments kind of happened through my career. I went to M&S in 2016, and we developed a ladies range which broke all the sales records. The poor managing director lost her job because they couldn't forecast the quantity. It wasn't really her fault that we were so successful. We developed a really great line. We worked closely with the mill. We engineered it all into cost in a good way. And I'm really proud of this range that we developed. However, there's a lot of denim out there. I'm responsible for a lot of fast fashion. So there was no local facility. There was no way of responding to sales. So as I say, that was something that really highlighted that we needed something closer to home. I then moved to ASOS. I was asked to join to help the team shift towards sustainability. So I worked with all their amazing factories, and they really have some great factories who are really passionate and committed to what they're trying to do. But in the UK, we had a warehouse full of quite a lot of denim. And part of my role was working with Jodie, one of the sourcing team, running around the UK, trying to find somewhere to reprocess the denim. So we were going into units where things were being manually cut, somebody was manually applying grinding, and I was just going, we have all these amazing factories overseas and we don't have a single laser machine in this country to do this. So it's really, really something we need. I know things are starting to change in the UK, but slowly, slowly it's coming. And also the recyclers and landfill are overflowing with garments. I know there's a lot of problems, there's a lot of waste that can't be cleaned, but there's also a lot of waste that's being sent off overseas just because it can't be cleaned and it can't be treated. And I think that there's a huge opportunity talking to these people to take that denim and reprocess it. So the demand for laundry came to us. As I say, we'd started talking about it long before COVID. And a lot of my work in the last couple of years before COVID had been to train myself and get ready and learn what it takes to run a laundry and what it takes to make these things happen, and learning business as well. It's a completely different animal from what I do. When COVID hit, I got so many calls from people. Sal, I am the person on the end of the phone. Where can we reprocess 500 units? Where can we change the stock? If you imagine, all our big retailers were closed for 3 months and the seasons change, and a lot of that stock could have been retreated and reprocessed if we'd had some equipment to do it, but there was nowhere. So I know a lot of the companies were trying to get Turkey to help out and things like that, but why didn't we have anywhere on our doorstep? It's desperate need. And orders were cancelled. The UK can be quite ruthless. I don't think we have the best buying practices in the world. I think we have some of the worst, actually, being really honest. And I think the every man for himself approach just wasn't necessary. It just really wasn't. And I know a lot of countries, a lot of suppliers overseas got hurt. If we'd had a way to back up in the UK, or we'd had somewhere where we could support and phase it, buyers wouldn't buy so big and they wouldn't buy so full on. And it would de-risk the risk and the impact that we have on the overseas factories. So LaundRe came to us. So what is LaundRe? First of all, we're only part funded at the moment. We're getting there. Hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll have some more positive news. Keep your fingers crossed. The idea is to put a lab here. There are a couple of other labs. Black Horse Lane is working with universities, and Han's going to be opening the first lab. But we wanted to offer a service that was more about reprocessing and like addressing waste and addressing the problem, and working with the big overseas producers to help provide a facility in the UK. So we've got slightly different models. Basically, I think we want to do a lot of the rubbish, a lot of the difficult, the stuff that needs cleaning up. But when Kedgwick and those laundries closed back in 2000, there wasn't the equipment we have now to be able to do this cleaning in the UK. So with all the new digital equipment, we can do this much cleaner, and we can establish a much more responsible supply chain. As like Tony just said, like Europe for Europe and the Far East for Far East, like we need to bring it back to a more local supply chain. Even though we're a global business and a global community, we do need to make it local. So this is just a quick slide that tells you why we were doing this. The denim industry is very dirty. It doesn't need to be dirty anymore. We can now work with all this wonderful equipment that you've heard about that will reduce our water consumption. We can work with ozone, so we don't need a lot of water. We don't need to put a strain on the UK supply. 140 million garments plus are discarded into landfill. If we can just rescue some of those, it'd be amazing. There is no facility. There's small ones coming up now, but it's very slow. But we're a big country. We have an opportunity for more than one business. And the UK's got a bad reputation. Some of the factories in Leicester, the conditions have been very poor. A lot of the big retailers are now like working with the factories to improve conditions. So to put these new units here in a business like LaundRe to show that it can be done responsibly and well and into cost price and affordably, I think would be a great move. So it's a long overdue smart hub. Our hub would connect with all the overseas suppliers. We would be there to support them. We would either hold some small stocks here, or we would take back goods from the retailers and help reprocess close to season. 70 million pairs of jeans plus are sold in the UK, like every year. And LaundRe has only got a tiny capacity for 235,000 units. So we would barely hit 1% of the UK denim market initially. It's go slow. I'm a northerner. It's very, very cautious. It's a new business. But even with that small amount of capacity, we could really make a dent in what's happening with waste and help the recyclers as well. So yeah, so our 4 services are nearshore, reprocess, R&D. So obviously R&D, we have some great denim people in the UK. There's been a fantastic article out this week on a lot of great product developers. So to provide us this facility to think about the next level of reprocessing, the next level of how we treat denim will be so important to our business. And then workshops, as I say, at the moment, I train buyers and I work with teams to show them how we do denim. I've been working with River Island recently, upskilling the teams. They're all amazing people. Really, really, the young guys don't get to travel to the factories. They probably don't even get to travel to the factories till they reach buyer or designer level. So to be able to share some of this and to be able to have them in our laundry and teach them early, we're going to get much better designers. We're going to build much better product. It's so important. So yeah, laundry is, from my ego side, it's I want to tell you you're not designing anything until you know how to make it. Like Raymond Brown did to me. It was honestly the best bit of advice I get given, and probably be the best bit of advice you're ever given as well. I think laundry is going to be a facility that everybody is welcome. We plan to put cameras in there, so we want to share, we want to be really transparent, we want to use it so people learn, and we want to encourage different thinking and find better ways of producing denim. So yeah, that's our story. And there's my Instagram there. You can follow the LaundRe Instagram. You can scan the code if you can read it. These are our values. We want to wash jeans with clouds, reducing water. We want to research, recycle, reprocess, repurpose, re-educate and de-risk the UK denim industry desperately. So yeah, that's our story, Angela.
Fantastic, Salli. I loved your humour and your haircuts and all your photos. What a journey you've had, and what an amazing ambition you have as well now. So you're focusing on the UK. How are you going to manage the demand? Because I'm already thinking, my goodness, you know, you'll be able to deal with 1%, but of course, will it not? People think, oh, nice dumping ground, let's go to Salli. How will you choose?
I mean, we hope so. It's best to start. I mean, always start cautious. It's a new thing. Yeah. There's a lot to learn. Setting up a laundry is not that easy. I mean, the one thing I can bring to this, and I mean, I'm the linchpin. There's 7 of us involved in this project at the moment, and I don't profess to be a laundry manager, I tell you now, but I know everybody who is. So we know all the right people who want to be part of this. That's what's exciting. We just need to put it there, and a bit of field of dreams. We build it, they come. So there's going to be a lot of learning, and for the UK to do this, there's a lot of learning for the buyers as well, because it's going to be a whole new buying model. We have run figures with quite a few retailers, so we've done some in-depth research of how we would manage costing and what we can do. ASOS did turn around and say it's not big enough, we're going to take all your capacity, and we said it's not going to work like that. It's not going to happen because we can't do that straight off. We want to be fair. The idea of laundry, which I believe makes a difference, is we're a service to the UK and UK retailers. We're not asking the big suppliers to fund us or anything. We want, if the UK retailer or brand wants to work with one of its factories, we will work with anybody. So the idea is to help them and build a better British denim industry, definitely, because it needs to happen. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll grow. We know we've got sites in mind, and we will try and make it flexible, and we hope we grow, and we hope it's something that will grow over the, you know, we've got a good 3 and 5 year model and targets. But as I say, I want to be really sensible and cautious, because I am, and it's going to be learning, and we'll see where we
going back to what Tony said, is really, you know, the ambitions are huge, but you've got to take it step by step as well.
Yeah, the letters of intent,
do you see a role for...
the letters of intent we've got from a lot of the mills, from a lot of the retailers, are incredible. So we probably will have to think about how much capacity we will launch with, definitely.
Yeah, it sounds like an amazing opportunity. Do you see a role for governments to help drive brands to have a more local production and or laundry themselves?
I'm very disappointed. We've been following Innovation UK that do a lot of the grants, and we have been connected with the Environmental Audit Commission and people like that. We've been talking, and as a startup, so even like somebody like me has got a huge background in denim, we've got lots of letters of intent from people, we have a business plan. As a startup, it's really hard to get the money, to get the government grants. Once we're there, we've got a lot of money coming at us in terms of grants. So I think before COVID, the government support we were looking at was very different, and a lot of it changed through COVID. We noticed some of the money that we would have been funded, actually, if we'd been about 2 months earlier, before COVID. However, I'm kind of glad we weren't, because I think it would have killed us off over COVID. I think it would have been a disaster for us. So in a way, things happen for a reason. We're now coming out the other side. So now we're starting to talk about it. And also we've learned a lot as well in that time frame. So, but yeah, the UK government, there's a lot more funding coming from Europe, it seems, even though we've Brexited.
Yes.
And,
we won't start a conversation about
don't even get me started on that one. Don't even.
We'll avoid that one. We're planning to make this a nice session. Salli, amazing journey. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. And if there's more questions people want to put in the Q&A, maybe Salli can answer some of them, but obviously you can go and visit her site and find out more about her there as well.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Angela. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy Transformers. Thank you.